yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Adenike, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yeah, so I'm Adenike Bamigbade, project coordinator for the Speak Up Standout. So hopefully we are expecting more participants to join us, but while we continue with the introduction, so we believe that the room will get fuller. But thank you, China. So nice to have everyone here, and I'm hoping for a great event today.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Adenike. So I'll move next to introduce Ms. Shekina. Shekina, can you introduce yourself and your role in the social project team? Okay, you're muted. I don't know. Just unmute. Okay, Shekina, I guess we are unable to hear you because you're still muted, but I'll still come back to you. The next person is Mr. Dolph Honor. Mr. Dolph, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. Hello, Uche. Good morning, every My name is Dolph Honor. I'm the communications lead for the Speak Up Stand Up program, and I'm excited to have everybody here. Just to confirm that we also have with us members of the press who are going to be, recording this proceeding for a press release that's going to go out later today or sometime Monday morning. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Uche.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dolph, and you're welcome. So before I come back to Shekina, I'd like to know, Oluwafumilayo, are you here? Can you kindly introduce yourself? Okay, maybe we don't have her yet, and when she joins, she will be introducing herself. To you, Shekina, are you able to speak now?
Yes, I'm able to speak. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shekina Aziaba, and I'm the programs officer for the SUSO project. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome, Ms. Shekina. I'd like to introduce the executive director of the Nigerian SDGs. On the platform where we have the SUSO project, Mr. Joshua, can you introduce yourself?
Morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here, and thank you all so much for joining. I look forward to an amazing event.
Thank you very much, sir, and you're welcome. So I'm looking here in the attendance list. I could see all of our amazing activists in the SUSO project. I could see Loretta Boniface, Ikenna Ugo, and I just can't stop seeing all of them give chike across thematic areas. So I would like to move over to the activists, but just because of time, we don't want the meeting to linger for so long. Would appreciate if the various activists in the 4 thematic areas introduce themselves in the chat session, use following the order, your name, the thematic area you've worked under, and one fun thing about you. So we are just going to do that in the chat session while we proceed. We also welcome the activists that have already been working with these advocates that have already been working with these activists and other volunteers and those who deem it worthy to be part of the event of today. You all are welcome. So we'll be moving to the next item here in the meeting of today, or the event of today. We have the SUSO overview and objectives, and that will be taken by the executive director of the Nigerian SDG network, where we have SUSO, where the SUSO is being placed on. And over to you, Mr. Joshua.
Hi, Uchenna. Thank you so much. So one of the things we are trying to do is we are waiting on for our founders voice to join. So I think that we could wait. Let's do some round of introductions for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll kickstart the main programming. Maybe you could give us an energizer. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. It's amazing. Okay. So finally, we have the opportunity now to introduce the activists who introduce themselves. But we're going to do it in a fun way, which is also going to be our energizer. So the deal is we'll start with we have 4 thematic areas in the social project, which we get to know about for some of us that do not know. But we'll start with the first thematic area, and the activists in each thematic area will introduce themselves, and you call on your colleague to follow suit. So if you're an activist, you'll be starting with the governance thematic area, and after that, you take the education thematic area, and after that, we move over to the employment thematic area before we take peace and security. So when we start with the governance thematic areas, activists in the governance thematic areas are to introduce themselves. And when you do so as an activist, you should mention the name of your fellow activists in that area and why they introduce themselves. Let me know if it's clear. So I'm just going to start, I'm starting with the governance thematic area, and I'll also be calling out the name of one activist in the governance thematic area. So when the activist starts, he or she will now be able to call the next activist that will follow up after them. So from the governance thematic area, I would want Give Chikere to start. So let's start with the female today. Gift, if you can hear me, I would want you to introduce yourself and one fun thing about you, and then you call the name of another activist still in the governance thematic area. So over to you, Gift.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here. And my name is Gift Chikere, and my thematic area is governance, Lagos State. One fun thing about me, I love to exercise a lot. Yeah, I love to exercise a lot. And I'll be calling on, I don't know if Shasonya is here. I don't know if he's here. If he's not here, I'll be going over to Wodo Nemeka Osita. Did anybody hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I heard you very clear. Emeka, okay. Over to you then. Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Gift.
Thank you.
So Emeka, I know you're trying to speak, but you're muted, so you can unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
Okay, because initially I can't. Almost. Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nemeko Sitangodo, and from Enugu State. We are into good governance. Then the one fun thing about me is that I think I just like to I love to sleep and eat. So I don't know if it's fun, but I just love eating and sleeping. Okay, then in that case, I want to call on. I don't know if Ariz Okafor is here.
Okay, Ariz, if you're in the call, you can indicate. No, Ariz is not yet in the call. Yes, he is. Ariza is here. Okay, Ariza, over to you next.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clear.
Hello, can anybody
Yes,
hear me?
Arinze, we can hear you very clear.
Okay, Arinze Okafor, from Enugu. I'm a creative artist. I be creative practitioner. I don't even know how to classify myself because I do a whole lot. But I work in the creative space though. My thematic area is governance. So that's and one funny thing about me. What? Like my own, I guess. I enjoy my company. I don't know if that's fun.
Wow, that's very interesting. I'd like to know more about that. So who are you nominating next in your thematic area?
I don't know if Anthony Chumba is on the call. Yeah, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Good morning, all.
Yeah, good morning, Anthony.
Okay, thank you so much. So my name is Anthony Shoba. I'm working under the employment thematic area, and I'm based here in Enugu. So it's nice to have us here once more. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much. One thing about me. Okay, I love smiling, and I try to make people smile also by doing the right things. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I think what Anthony was now called upon to talk about employment thematic area. We'll still get employment thematic area, so that's a bonus for you. So we'd like to move to the activists in the education thematic area, and I would want to start with Christian Ugu. Mr. Christian, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Christian, can you hear me? Okay, if Christian is not close, would try Ruth, if you have Ruth here in the meeting. Okay, it looks also like we don't have Ruth here in the meeting. So I can see Mr. Christian already. Mr. Christian, can you hear me? Okay, maybe it looks like he's having issues with his network. Do we have Raymond Bison on this call? Raymond, can you hear me? Oh wow! So someone is representing Goka Road. So you can go now. You can introduce yourself. Amara Okechukwu.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Amara. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. I'm representing my team leader, Mrs. Ruth Obuche Ngoka. So my name is Amara Blessing Okechukwu, and I worked with my team leader under the thematic area, education. And one fun thing about me is that I like meeting new people and talking with people.
Thank you very much, Amara. And that's a very big welcome on behalf of Ruth. Do we have Raymond here in the call?
Someone to call.
Okay, so Raymond is yet to join, and it looks like we're exhausting our list for activists in the education thematic area. I would like to proceed to.
Hi, Uchenna, I'm back. I was asking to be unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, welcome, Mr. Kena. So you can introduce yourself.
By the way. Yeah, thank you. My name is Ikena Ugu, and I'm from Enugu State. I work under the education thematic area. One fun thing about me yeah, I treasure so much meeting people, especially new people. Thank you so much for the privilege to be in this meeting.
Yeah, welcome. It's good to have you, Mr. Ikenna. So the other activists for education thematic area, they're yet to join us. But when they do, they will definitely introduce themselves in the chat session. So we would want to proceed to the employment thematic area. And I don't know if Oluwatosin is here in this call. Oluwatosin, are you here? Okay, so Oluwatosin is here to join us, and we've already had Anthony introduce himself. So we'll move to the final thematic area, peace and security. Yes, peace and security thematic area. Do we have Ruhama here in the call? Ruhama is here to be here. So I'm noticing that Boniface for the education thematic area is here in the call and is here to introduce himself. So Boniface, can you do us the honor of introducing yourself?
Uche, do you mean me, Loretta Boniface, or are we also expecting any Boniface to join?
No, your own Boniface, exactly.
Okay, you were referring to a he. Good morning,
sorry.
everyone.
Morning.
My name is Loretta Boniface. I work in the education thematic area in Abuja. And one from love. Simple. Thank you.
Wow, that's very interesting. Welcome, Loretta. So would proceed to the employment thematic area. Do we have Oluwatosin here in the call? If we do not have Oluwatosin, Anthony has done for the peace and security thematic area rather, we should have Ruhama here in the call. If Ruhama is not in the call, we'll take Emejan. Emejan, can you hear me? I think Emejan is here, I can see you.
Okay, yeah. Uche, can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you very clear, Emejan. Good morning.
Yeah. My name is Emejan. I'm a peace and security activist with socio. And one of the things that I would say is fun about me would be that I just like to play, right, until I get serious, basically.
Wow, that's strange. And your voice is also not friendly. Welcome, Mr. Emedian. So can you nominate another person in the peace and security thematic area to introduce him or herself?
My leader is here, Mr. Lawa.
Okay, Lawa.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you. My name is Rafiu Lawal. I'm one of the activists on the Speak Up Stand Out Nigeria program, working on peace and security in Abuja. So I'm happy to see everyone. I want to nominate Ene.
Yeah, I wanted to say so. Ene, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Ene Mary Audu, the Speak Up Stand Out program, with the thematic focus on peace and security. I'm happy to meet everyone here once again for the final meeting. One fun. I love to sing, but not like I can sing, but I just love to say whatever comes to my mind. So I sing not.
Okay, that's fine. So thank you all for the amazing introductions. I guess for some of us joining this call who are yet to be in personal contact with some of these activists, this is just a big opportunity for you to connect with them because over the past 1 year, they've done really amazing. So we'll be proceeding to the main part of our event, and we'll be having Mr. Joshua Aladi, the Executive Director of the Nigerian Youth SDGs Network, talk about the Speak Up Standard project overview and objectives. Over to you, Mr. Joshua.
Thank you so much, Uchenna. Good morning, everyone. It's so exciting to be here today. And the reason why it's exciting for me is that I remember in 2020, and when we had the NSAS movement, with a lot of young people coming up, having their voice heard, saying no to police brutality, and demanding that the Nigerian government should ensure that the lives of young Nigerians matter. And the Speak Up Stand Out program began as first an opportunity to support the agency of young people who are passionate about leading change in Nigeria. Aside from that is the fact that for Nigerian Youth SDGs, when we started in 2017, we started as an unregistered youth movement. We're bringing about young people who were passionate about the SDGs in Nigeria and how to take local and national action on the SDGs. And as an organization which was unregistered, we faced a lot of challenges, especially with regards to funding. And one of the things we said we were going to do when we got registered is to ensure that we open up the space for young people with innovative ideas who may not be registered to be able to access funding. And that realization of our own predicament when the organization started in 2017 until we got registered in 2021 was what culminated into the Speak Up Stand Out program. So it's basically an opportunity to provide mentoring to budding leaders, an opportunity to also be able to provide financing to be able to carry out projects in communities, and finally also be able to provide some sort of self-care with respect to stipends to the activists on the program. And the beautiful part about the Speak Up Standout is that it's an influencing grant which is being supported by the Netherlands government through Voice. And it shows the remarkable energy and the creativity of the average Nigerian youth, people working in areas of education, trying to ensure that children, especially from poor backgrounds, are able to have the right to education, trying to ensure that women whose voices may not count, women who are facing issues of gender-based violence, are able to have their voice heard, and seeing how the government can be able to implement the VAP Act. It's also a program that is giving expression to young people who are passionate about a better Nigeria, young people who are active citizens, who wants to use the act to encourage other young people to be able to come up, take up their PVC and vote in the next coming election in 2023. It's also about peace and security. We all know about the Yanya bombing in 2014. And one of the activists on this program went on a project around reconciliation and healing, working with people whose voices have been submerged, people who had gone through a lot of loss, but there was nobody to listen to them. It's about giving people voices. It's also about ensuring that as young people, we understand that our voice matter, and that if we want to make Nigeria better, it has to start from us. And over the last 12 months, thereabout, we started with about 20 activists, and we all know how the journey goes when it comes to programs that are a year long. We've had 3 activists pull out of the program, and 17 activists are coming to the end of this program with us. And this program has also been made possible through an incredible team. There were a lot of issues with cohesion and the likes. But one of the things I love about the average Nigerian spirit is the fact that if we set our hearts to doing something, no matter the issues that comes along the way, we are going to make sure that we come to a good end. So for all, the Speak Up Stand Out is also about learning. It's also about pushing people to understand that you can use your talent to be able to raise awareness on the issues that are affecting Nigeria. It's also an invitation to leadership, because for some of the activists on this program, they've had to work with a lot of people that they may not have had the opportunity to work with. It's also about accountability, because during this program, every one of the activists were made to go through a rigorous process of ensuring that they ensure financial accountability. It was difficult, but every one of these things are the emblem, they are the marks that great leadership comes from. And I also want to say this program has been successful because of the belief of voice. Nigerian SDGs was registered in 2021, and we got this grant from Voice because they believed that as young people, we understand the needs of every other young person, and we are the one that is going to be able to provide the kind of enablement to ensure that their voices are heard. And it's also a reminder that there's nothing for young people without young people being involved. It's also a reminder that in order for us to be able to lead change, there's this very importance of building our capacity. Nobody, and I'll say this again, nobody is an island of knowledge. And this is what this program is all about. We had people who have served as mentors. We've had people who had come in at one point or the other to be able to support the activists on this program. And the results that we are going to be seeing here today is a accumulation of 12 months of hard work. So I specifically want to congratulate all the activists that has made this program successful. I also want to thank all the advocates that has made this program really beautiful. And finally, I want to thank every member of the team that has held on, from Adenike Bamigbade, who is a project coordinator, to Dov Ona, who is in charge of communications, to Uchenna Imo, in charge of monitoring, evaluation, and learning, to Oluwafumilayo Odusanwo, who is in charge of finance, and finally to Shekina, the program officer. Thank you all, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of today's event. There's going to be a lot of things for you to learn, and I just want you to sit back and see the full blow of youth power in action. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. I think that was very, very, very reflecting. And I could just picture the whole scenario in my head, how it was inspired and how the project has gone up to the stage where we are. I thank you very, very much for the amazing keynotes overview and objectives for the Speak Up Standard project. So the next item we have here in our agenda is the keynote speech. And we're to have this from the coordinator from Voice Nigeria, Mrs. Ijoma Oko. I don't think she's yet in the call, but we have the monitoring and evaluation from Voice, Mr. Cedric Oro. Mr. Cedric, please, can you introduce yourself? Mr. Cedric, can you hear me? Okay, so I think, Mr. Cedric, can you hear me? Okay, so Cedric is unable to speak at the moment. As soon as he's able, he'll be in the spotlight to introduce himself. We'll be taking the next item. We'll still come back to the keynote speech from the representative or the coordinator from Voice, Mrs. Ijoma Oko. So right now, we just want to reflect on the project outcomes and impacts from the Speak Up Standard project. And coming up to do that is the project coordinator, Mrs. Adenike Bamibade. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone, once again. It's good to be here. I'm trying to share my screen. I'll be doing a little presentation. Okay, all right. So my name is Adenike Bamibade once again, and I'm the program coordinator for the Speak Up Standard project. The Speak Up Standard project started in August 2021. Our goal is to resource 20 young people to lead community projects in their local community and to also inspire and influence other young people around them. So I'll be taking you through our impact report, so just short summarized impact reports. And we'll also be looking at what we've learned so far. So when we started, we had some hypotheses. So one of our hypotheses is young people can make great impact if they're invited to the seat of decision making. That young social agents are actually underfunded. I mean, young social agents in Nigeria are underfunded and are not trusted by development funding facility. Then also that young people are better tools to inspire and influence other young people. So we wanted to test this hypothesis, and we developed this set of objectives when we began the Speak Up Standard project. So we hope to build the confidence of our youth activists to lead social change projects and to mobilize other young people. We hope to enable the youth activists to build alliances, coalitions, and partnerships with private and government stakeholders to influence positive change in their community. And lastly, our third objective is to equip young activists with resources to influence public reforms and policies in their community. So what did we do after that? We started with a call for application, and that with the call for application, we had 650 young people registered, and 650 young people. When we did the call for application, so we got 650 young people who registered, and we had a large registration coming from Abuja and Lagos. So the project actually focused on 3 states mainly, Enugu, Lagos, and Abuja. And we also had registration from other states, which actually shows that young people from other states, aside from these 3 states, are also interested in this project. So in our selection, we ensure that there is balance in gender selection. And in the 3 states that we focused on, we also try to ensure that both male and female are well represented. But at the end of the day, in Enugu, for instance, we're able to get more male and less female. So this actually shows the distribution of like gender representation when they registered. So moving on from there, after the registration and we selected our 20 activists, 10 male, 10 female, we underwent some training sessions with them. We had 2 days training sessions where we lodged them in a location for 2 days, and we had intensive training, and we also had a toolkit that we developed to guide them. So our activists not just take this knowledge, they also were able to start using this knowledge to to onboard their advocates and to train their advocates. So at the end of the day, we're able to get 211 advocates. So who are advocates? Advocates are young people who are domiciled in these local communities as well, who are willing to work alongside with these young activists to achieve a particular project that they've set to do. So the advocates are somewhat like the volunteers who are helping these activists to understand their leadership journey and to help them achieve their project objectives. So when the onboarding and the training of the advocates, the activists were able to pass the knowledge they've learned from us to train them as a way to kickstart their leadership journey in the Speak Up Standard project. And one beautiful thing was 71.4% of the advocates after the training actually felt confident in being able to work with the activists and to deliver the advocacy project. So the Speak Up Standard projects is around 5 thematic areas, and one is governance. And our goal for governance is to develop creative and innovative ways to mobilize young people to engage actively in governance. There are 5 projects that were under that, and mainly the projects were implemented in the 3 locations, Lagos, Enugu, and in Abuja. At the end of the day, we're going to have a video documentary that actually speaks to the project, the individual projects of these activists and the outcome of their projects. So our next thematic area is education, and our goal is to develop strategic and innovative ways to reduce the number of young Nigerians not in employment, education, and training. And we add 5 projects as well across mainly 2 states, Enugu and Abuja. Our 4th thematic focus is peace and security, and the goal for peace and security is to develop creative and interactive ways to domesticate the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2050 and 2419 in Nigeria. And we had 5 projects as well for this. And the projects cut across mainly locations in Abuja and Lagos. So the third thematic area is employment. We had 3 successful projects for that, and our goal for that is to localize the implementation of the Nigerian Youth Employment Action Plan in Enugu and Lagos states with the goal of improving access to decent jobs. So these are the 2 locations that this thematic area was implemented. So having said that, let's move on to what we found out. What some of our results are. We began the project with 20 activists, and from November 2021, when the activists were onboarded, to this day, when we're doing the final convening. So it's been roughly 14 months being able to work with these activists and to work with them to achieve the project objectives. So we are happy to say that out of the 20 projects that we started with, we have 17 successful projects at the end of the day. And so that means 85% of the projects from within the duration of 14 months has been successful, which I think is a pass mark for us. So if you recall, one of our key objectives is to develop leadership confidence of these activists. So based on an evaluation of their leadership skills, we can say that when we evaluated them 6 months after they've started deploying their project activities, working with their advocates, many of them, at least a little bit above 75%, said they've improved their leadership development because of Speak Up Stand Out. So we are not saying that they don't have leadership ability before they join Speak Up Stand Out, but we're trying to measure how the Speak Up Stand Out project influenced their leadership confidence. And 75% above said that the Speak Up Stand Out after 6 months has actually improved their ability. And after 1 year, 80% and above, like between 80 to 25%, have confirmed that the Speak Up Stand Out has improved their leadership confidence. And these are some of the things that some of them said. Gift for insight, for example, mentioned how she was able to build the confidence to lead, advocate, to lead her team, and how the program has opened her up to top stakeholders, and it has also improved her bravery. Ruth, for instance, says she has been strengthened by the Speak Up Stand Out project, and it has really, really given her confidence to implement campaigns and advocacies in our community. So these are some of our advocates who have spoken to that fact, and we're going to listen to some of them during the course of the event today. So one of the key things that we measure is the ability of our activists to build alliances and partnerships. So 6 months when we started, after they've started deploying their project activities, like 30% said they feel confident that they are able to build alliances and partnerships. But at the end of the day, after 1 year, closely 65% said they were able to build their confidence, that their confidence to build alliances and partnerships develop. And this can be evidenced in some of our activists being able to work with government stakeholders in the ministries of education, being able to work with government and private stakeholders as well, being able to work with NYC law enforcement agencies. So we were able to see this key partnerships being formed, which is a big success for us based on our objectives. And overall, we asked the activists for them to rate their project satisfaction. And many of them, a little above 60%, said they are actually okay and excited that the project actually went well, excellently. And as we can see here, and when we asked them why they are satisfied with their projects, Mohammed, for instance, said that he has been empowered, that he has been able to empower young people with knowledge and information on how to build, on how to become peace builders in their communities. Ruth also talked about how the fact that she has been able to work with young people, especially students in Enugu. The outcome of our project has gladdened her heart, and it has really given her the opportunity to see what she's capable of doing, which is a positive remark for us. So we have some key successes, but these are just some few that we've highlighted here. The video is going to show quite a lot of some of these key successes. And Audu has been able to introduce a new concept of peace building through healing and reconciliation. So with our project, she has been able to inspire rehabilitation and care of victims in order to encourage healing and peace building in society. She was brave enough to go to those who have been neglected. I mean, the victims of the Inyanya bomb blast, for instance. She's able to really get them to understand the importance of healing and reconciliation. This is something that even adults are scared to do. She's able to go to those in the IDP camps and not just talk about hope alone, but also help them to build their confidence to integrate with the larger communities. Loretta Boniface, for instance, has been able to champion recycling education, work with students to understand how they can use the wasted, as in waste, things that they generally see as waste, how they can use it for something profitable. And she has been able to work with schools and also work on sustaining it, not just something of one-off activity. Ruth also has been able to talk about academic integrity, something that is a key thing in Nigeria of today, being able to build young people's confidence to actually to take academic excellence very important. And the feedback within the period of 1 year has been really amazing, that it has even inspired herself to continue what she's doing. So what have we learned? These are just some few things that we've learned, which are very essential. We've learned that a great way to motivate and mobilize young people is to allow youth to lead. So young people are easily challenged and inspired when they see other young people like themselves who are taking action. So we've seen that in the activists are young people, the advocates are young people. It's not been an easy journey working together, but the outcome of their work have really proven that young people can easily motivate other young people, especially if you see other young people taking action. They are eager to also want to do that as well. So we've heard some of the advocates talking, some of them will also talk during the course of this event. One thing we've also learned is that we need more resources and funding should be channeled to social agents who are closer to the people and the community. So people who are closer to the community, Ruth is in Enugu, Ene is in Abuja, Ene is in Inyanya, she lives in Inyanya herself. So I don't live in Inyanya, for instance, I really don't understand what the people of Inyanya are going through. So Ene understands, even though she's not a victim herself, but she understands because she's living among them. So if we want to resource communities and improve communities, we need to identify those who are living there, those who are in that community, who are passionate about driving change in that community. These are the best social agents, and they're able to maximize whatever funding and whatever resources we give to them. They're able to use it and maximize it really well. We also realize that online mobilization is great to create awareness, but grassroots mobilization is where the real change happens. This is evident in our governance thematic areas, where our activists like Aminze is able to go to like the streets of Enugu to talk about people should take their PVC. And it was a bit risky because this is a time where there is, people are afraid to talk about PVC and election in the Southeast, but he was able to challenge that, go to the street and not just talk on social media, but to go out there and talk. And they've been able to see during this course of the program, more than like 500 people actually went to take that PVC because of his actions. We're able to understand that young people need more in-depth understanding of social problems before setting out to solve them. We're able to understand that. So in preparing resources and knowledge transfer for young people, especially for young activists, they need to understand they need to have in-depth understanding of the problems before they set out to solve it. We also learned that structured systems help passionate young people to better make sense of their ideas. So if you are working, if you want to resource more young people, if you want young people in your system, if you want them to take actions, create a structured system. It will really inspire them. It's not been easy working with 20 activists, and at the end of the day, we're able to get 70 activists who actually challenge themselves to deliver these amazing results. It's because we're able to experiment this and it worked eventually. One other thing we learned is that young people do not only want to be heard, they want to feel heard, so that they are sure that their concerns are taken importance. So we can't say that the Speak Up Stand Up project, we want young people to be at the seat of table. And while we are working with these young people, we're not carrying them along in the decision making. It's not going to work because they just don't want to. They don't want to hear that, oh, you've been heard. They really want to see, they want to feel that they've been heard. So this is something that I think our leaders and civil society should put into perspective while working and dealing with young people. One of our other learning is that social development should be aimed outside Lagos and Abuja. We saw tremendous positive response in Enugu, for instance. All the activists in Enugu were amazing. We didn't lose any activists in Enugu. Out of the 17 activists that we have, all the activists in Enugu delivered excellently. They were the easiest to work with. A lot of social development work focused in Lagos and Abuja, which are actually big communities that seem to have more of the funding, but we need to reach out to other local communities who are eager and interested, and who are also committed. So lastly, we learned that social activism takes time. And so we should be intentional about compensating social activists who are committed to make meaningful change. Speak Up Stand Up project did its little bits by compensating in a very little way for our activists and the advocates. We couldn't even compensate as much as we wanted to. But despite that, we're able to see some like passion and commitment. But overall, if we really want young people to deliver, we should be intentional about compensating them. So these are the key lessons that we've learned from the Speak Up Stand Up projects. And I'm going to stop sharing now. So thank you once again for your time. And I'm really happy to share this with you. It's been a great time. Like it's been a journey in the past 14 months. And I'm working with these activists, and I'm really excited by the impact that we've been able to, the work we've been able to do and the impact that we're seeing. So thank you for your time, Uchenna.
Thank you very much. So listening to the presentation of the results, I feel very glad to have been part of the Speak Up Stand Up project. And I also believe that everyone who play one role or the other in the project is also proud to be part of that project. And then for those joining us that are really impressed, there's so much effort had gone into getting this amazing result. And we know that you can also do something particularly around that, and you also contributed to doing things around that. So thank you very much, Mrs. Adenike, and that was really exposing one. I feel so glad to look through the charts and results and pictures, and I hope we'll still have greater impacts and greater outcomes, harvest greater outcomes in our coming projects. So we'd like to now take our keynote speech from the Voice Grants Coordinator, Mrs. Ijoma Oko. She'll be taking the keynote speech right now. Mrs. Ijoma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Uche. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. I got invitation to start my video. I want to apologize. That I will not be able to show my camera now. Please bear with me. Quickly, as Uche introduced, my name is Ijoma Okwo, and I lead the voice program here in Nigeria. We're funding the Speak Up Standout campaign by Youth SDG. I want to start by mentioning that I would rather love to call this a vote of thanks. I would also highlight a few things to suit the name of the session, which is keynote. This month have been the month of Thanksgiving for Voice. As you know, a lot of you are packing out. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, but also emotional, very, very emotional for me particularly. And something similar to what Adenike shared now is what I've been encountering. I'm currently in Enugu. I'll be going down to Center for Memories to share similar keynotes or vote of thanks with the Integrity and Yes We Can team, who are also closing their project today across the entire voice states. That's what we've been doing. I wanted to highlight this to take us back to memory, how we started. It was the aftermath of NSAS. And for me, within voice, I thought, wow, this is huge. Whether it's politically motivated, whether it was truly a co-creation, reaction, response of Nigerian youths to the things they are no longer happy with in Nigeria, whatever it is. I thought it was an auspicious moment in the life of this country called Nigeria, and that what happened is not something we can ignore. And I thought as Voice, a grant facility, we need to take steps. That's the genesis of most projects we have today in Nigeria. And that's why they are all channeled towards young people. My idea is to see young people channel the whole energy that I saw during NSAS into the development sector. And that informed the call for proposal. And I'm glad today, Joshua, Adenike, Uche, and the entire team, that we were able to identify this concept and work with you on it. It's a project that I know we've had our challenges, and I want to recognize the role played by Youth SDG and the entire consortium members in ensuring that we finally moved ahead with the project, noting that the goal or the bigger picture is the impact we want to make in the lives of every young Nigerian that come in contact with this project. And I'm proud to, express this joy today that though we were not able to do everything we wanted to do because of the challenges, because of the bureaucracy within Oxfam, because of all foreseen circumstances, I am nevertheless glad that every key action we needed to take in this project, we've taken it, but more importantly that we are seeing the fruits already. Most times projects end 3 years, 5 years after we start documenting the long-term impact for me already, I could already see the immediate impact of this project. And so I want to appreciate Youth SDGC and the entire consortium members. I'm not sure we'll have any other platform to do that. That's why this meeting is important for me to participate in. I also want to give kudos and loads of appreciation to the young people who participated in this project, especially the advocates, for their community actions, for allowing themselves to go through the training, the leadership, the mentoring processes that they've been through. When Nike was speaking, I was struck when she mentioned, you know, one of the suggestions they're making under the project is that we should invest more on people, social actors who are closer to the community. And I want to say that this is one of the major principles of voice, the principle of nothing about us without us. That when you want to make impact, you go to people who are living the experience. So if you want to make impact, that's probably why you recorded a lot of success to Enugu. Big shout out to Enugu. I know I'll be seeing a lot of you in Center for Memories in a couple of minutes. A lot of projects that have happened in Enugu have been tremendously successful. Thank you so much. So for the advocates, I want to appreciate you. I know we didn't invest so much in you, but I tell people, let's start something. Let's encourage our youth in Nigeria to start taking action. Because majority of us are out there doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Majority of us are engaged in different social vibes. Now, the kind of opportunity that Youth SDGC is providing is such that you can either take or leave. You can either decide to be involved in Yahoo, which could pay in the short run, but you suffer it in the long run. Or you can decide to have a niche for yourself as a young person and improve your life, improve your society, and probably make some remarkable footprints on the sand of time. You never can tell where this project will take you. So I thank you so much. And I wonder now, for everyone, what is in our mind is what happens now. The project is ending. For you first DGC, I wish you all the best. We are hoping we could extend voice. If that happens, you are very much welcome to try another chance with us. For the young people, it's a platform already. You are already recognized. You are already on our website, in our minds as voice, as donor. And we are speaking about you to every donor we partner with. And I believe the future is bright. But while waiting for this future, please take action. Do not stop. I tell people sometimes what you need is not always about money. We don't have enough NGOs yet in Nigeria. That's what I tell young people. Create something, start something. An organization like Oxfam is a global network today with presence in over 70-something countries. That's why people like me have jobs. It was started by a young person after the World War in Oxford. I know of a movement that I'm participating in now in Australia. It was started by a young undergraduate who is an indigenous Australian who felt not included within the Australian government. He started a movement. This is within this 21st century. And someone could start something in Nigeria. I think that's part of what you pick from what Youth SDG has done for you. So let's not sleep. Wake up, according to Buga guy. Yeah, let's wake up. Our country is in dire need of young people. The election is coming. A lot of people are focusing in election. I'm more interested in after election. Let's take action. Let's engage these people. That's the whole essence of the leadership training you receive. Take action, do something, speak out, monitor, track, express yourself, and demand for accountable governance and inclusive society. On that note, I would like to end. By finally thanking Joshua once again and Adenike for such a beautiful piece. And I hope to keep in touch. And I wish Youth SDG all the best. Always remember that I will be right here if you need references or if opportunities come and you need us to talk. Yeah, I wish you all the best. And thank you for having me. Thank you, Uche, for bearing with me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that keynote speech. I think the key takeaway for every participant here in the meeting is take action. And I think we've really done amazing. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ijoma. So we'll proceed to our goodwill messages, still in the same spirit of review and gratitude. We'd want to have Ms. Kemi Badamosi and Ms. Choma of TechNG share their goodwill messages. I don't know if we have Kemi and Choma here in the call. Okay, they are in the call. So we'll start with Kemi. Kemi, you introduce yourself and then go ahead to present your goodwill message to the house. And after that, we'll have Choma of TechNG. Thank you very much. Over to you, Kemi.
Hello, everyone. I'd kindly request that I put my video off. I'm a bit under the weather and I'm just, and I'd rather just speak without the video on. I think first and foremost, I didn't have an idea I was going to be giving a goodwill message, but the good thing is like the Boy Scouts were always prepared. So first, I want to say thank you very much to the Nigeria Youth SDGs team, Joshua, Denike, and the rest of the team, as well as the Voice for the support. I'm no stranger to the Youth SDGs. I actually sit on the advisory board. So in terms of, you know, the journey of the Youth SDG is one that I'm very familiar with right from when it started. And it's always just good to see the grounds that it continues to cover, Joshua and the team, and the impact that they continue to make. For the Speak Up Stand Out project, I also had the opportunity to take one of the sessions on advocacy, which is something that is that I'm very passionate about. So for those who don't know me, my name is Kemi Badamosi, and I work with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, which is an international NGO with a presence in 45 countries. 13 of those countries are in Africa. And I am the director for advocacy policy and marketing for the Africa Bureau. So I head anything that has to do with advocacy policy around HIV/AIDS, young women and girls with AHF, working with 13 of those African countries to advance advocacy and policy issues when it comes to HIV, public health, and also for young women and girls. I just want to say that looking at the reports that Nike gave, it's a testament to the fact that when young people are given an opportunity to not only participate, but to also lead, to bring their expertise, and to also contribute their ideas, there is so much that can happen. There's a lot of change that can happen. And I agree with Madam Ijoma when she says there is still a lot of room and there's still a lot of space for more young people. There are a lot of issues if we look around us, issues that borders on development, from health to poverty to gender to tech, to climate. There's so much going on in the world, and there's not enough NGOs. There's not enough community action, you know, to address them. And that's also the place that young people have great room to drive change. But even with the engagement I had during the advocacy session, I could see that in the room, the young people I interacted with had a lot of hunger, a lot of passion, and a lot of drive to want to make change happen. So I'm not surprised by the report. I'm not surprised at all by the summary of, you know, the impact that has been made. And my only charge is that It's one thing to start, but where the work really is, anybody who's very familiar with development will tell you it is in the continuation. The beginning is the easiest. It is building on the momentum. It is building on the successes, because there's still always so much to do. We're only scratching the surface. But the good thing is that the young people in the social program have shown that with the right capacity, with the right support, there is no limit to how much change they can drive across the different sectors. And now more than ever, Nigeria needs all of that. We see the challenge that we face as a country in terms of all the development indicators. We're not doing well on anyone. So that's the sad news. When you look at the Human Development Index of Nigeria, we're not doing well on anyone. So whether it's health, whether it's education, whether it's gender, whether it's climate, whether it's poverty, technology, we're not doing well. So that means that every one of you that has been part of this program, you have your work cut out for you. And that means you need to go out and drive change. You need to go out and be the change that you want to see, but you also need to go out and begin to map out those strategies that can help to advance us and increase our HDI like it should be. And also to just say to you that whether this project continues or not, I hope that it has catalyzed something in each and every one to see where the needs are, identify the gaps, and come up with innovative ideas and strategies with which to address those gaps. But it's also to show you what is possible, because the Youth SDG is led by a young person. I consider Joshua young, right from when he started. Everybody on the Youth SDG team is a young person, really. And it's a testament of what is possible when young people put their hearts in the right place and young people channel their energy, their ideas, and their expertise. They can always help to move the needle a bit forward. So please do not say, oh, now that this program has wrapped up, then we go back to sleep. It's just an indication that, after the holidays are over, we take on the next year with new zeal, with new commitment. I just want to say thank you to the Voice team, because without the funding is always critical. The technical expertise is also very needed in the development space. And without that, there's not much we can do with the ideas that we have. So thank you to the funders for creating this opportunity to take this idea from just an idea to actually becoming a social movement that is now making a lot of impact. And it's my hope that this will open more doors and more roads for not just the Youth SDGs, but every young person that has been a part of this program to actually, bring your dreams to life or continue to use your gifts and your skills to influence a lot of change, whether it's in policies, whether it's in the systems, or whether it's just, galvanizing more young people, raising awareness and publicity, or building skills, as it were. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kemi, for that. Okay, Uchenna is back. Go ahead.
So we're moving now to Chioma Tech NG. Chioma, if you can hear me, just indicate.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to see the end of this project. I remember coming to speak with, the advocates and the teams in Abuja, and being really excited at how passionate and how just alive everyone sounded. I was also quite touched with some of the experiences that the advocates had faced in the field. And I remember having, a very personal conversation with one of the ladies outside after I had finished my session. I'm not going to say a lot. I think that Madam Ijoma and Kemi Badamosi have spoken quite a bit about what happens next. all I'm just going to focus on is to, first of all, congratulate you on successfully completing this process and engaging with the process. I'm sure that for most of you, it has been one that has, caused you to just reach deep into yourself and ask yourself questions, challenge some things that you knew, but also teach you a lot of new things. And so I want to congratulate you on going through that process. I also want to tell you to take care of yourself going forward. And that's going to be the thrust of everything I'm saying today. Take care of yourself. The reason is Nigeria is a massive country, right? 200 million and counting. Nigeria is also plagued with a lot of challenges. And I mean, the SDGs and the MDGs before them are testament to these challenges. So whether it's health, women and girls, education, maternal mortality, security, you name the challenge, Nigeria is probably facing it. You cannot do everything. You can't. You can't do everything, and you can't achieve much alone. So I will say to you, please take care of yourself. Recognize the signs of burnout. Recognize when you are getting exhausted. Recognize when your spirit is low, and seek help for yourself. Form a community of support, form communities of strength around yourselves. Create opportunities to relax, create opportunities to rest. My people say that, and I'm sure this is something we all know, that he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Take care of yourself physically. If you need to work out to stay fit, please do that. It helps your mind as well. Take care of yourself mentally. If you need to speak with a therapist, there's no shame in that. Ensure that, the cup from which you are going to pour out within communities as you do your grassroots work, ensure that that cup doesn't get empty. Also, take care of yourself spiritually. Different people worship different things. Just ensure that you maintain those connections that ensure that you are a rounded human being, spirit, soul, and body. I wish you guys all the best, especially for the women who do work with other women and with girls. My organization is readily available to provide any support you might need, whether it is references. I heard Madam Ijoma talk about references. Whether you are looking for opportunities to collaborate, whether you're looking for opportunities to volunteer, or you're looking for opportunities to, whatever it is, you might have an idea, you want to run it over with someone or with an organization. I'll leave an email address for my organization in the chat box, just so that you can get access to us if you need to. Finally, thank you very much again to all of the organizers. Thank you to the leadership of this organization. It's not a joke to be able to run through an entire program with young people and come to a successful completion. So congratulations once again. I wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Choma. So I think even the goodwill messages come with lots of advice and care revolving around our activists and our advocates. So I want to say a very big thank you to Kemi and Chioma for those very blissful goodwill messages. So right about now, we'll be having the documentary, the social documentary, playing the video, and we want everybody to sit back and watch the video premiere. Thank you.
possess, to contribute to peace building.
Peace building.
There is a lot of distrust. There is a lot of distrust between law enforcement and young people.
Rather than seeing young persons as perpetrators and victims of violence, but we can leverage on the huge resources and potentials that they possess, to contribute to peace building.
Peace building is not complete. It's not possible without reconciliation. It's not at all.
So through peace building, sensitizing the young people in the society and also letting them know what sexual gender-based violence is about, the effects it has in the society and the need for it to be curbed.
So for these projects, called assessing the status of children's rights. So the children are our targets.
I implemented a number of projects in order to reduce the rate of unemployment in Nigeria.
Learning Stud, it's out to create a platform that can help the students gain employable skills.
I see governance as a major key challenge in national development.
Young people, young Nigerians are clamoring for change.
Well, I, for a person, feel young people have been relegated to the back just because they are not being included in governance.
Why you have something you could use as a medium to see the things you want to see happen.
Get your PVC, ask question.
Due to the way we come, using art, and probably they have gotten the body painting, so they will be like, oh wow, let me go and register for PVC.
The love and passion for education is dying. I really want to pass down that flair of success and achieving academic excellence to the younger generation.
What we intend to achieve with this project is to equip young people with the skills that they need to be able to build resistance against drug abuse.
Part of the work that I'm doing with SUSO is to get young people to be part of the process of development in education in their own communities.
The response I've had from the participants, those children, it has been awesome.
Speak up, stand out is actually all it takes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I hope we all enjoyed the video. That's more like the tip of an iceberg of the full documentary and the video coverage we've done. So you can drop your comments about the video in the comment section while we go through them. I enjoyed the video and I felt like it was really, I wish it could last longer, but then when you check the chat session, you find the link and you can go see it for yourself again and again, just like I would love to do that. So would be proceeding to a very important part of this closeout meeting. And that important part is experience sharing with our activists and advocates. So we'd have the first very short session with our 17 activists, selected number of our 17 activists, and then with also selected number of our advocates. So I'll be inviting some SUSO activists to join me, and we'll just be casually reflecting around the experiences we've had in the SUSO project. And I believe as we listen, we would pick out one or two things that are very, very important to us. So I don't know if Rohama is in this call. Rohama, if you're here, kindly indicate. Oluwatosin, Ikenna, and Arinze, if you're in this call, I'd like you to indicate your presence.
Hi, Ikenna, I'm here.
Okay, welcome, Ikenna. Arinze, are you here? Tosin and Rohama.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, welcome, Arinze. Oluwatosin, are you here, and Rohama? So if I yet to get response from Oluwatosin and Ruhama, Gloria, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Gloria, you will join us. So we have Gloria, Ikena, Arinze, Oluwatosin and Ruhama. If you're in this call, you can still indicate, so we'll start. Okay, thank you, Oluwatosin, for indicating. Oluwatosin is here. And Ruhama, are you here? Okay, so if we don't have Ruhama, we can just continue with the 4 present activists. So these are just like selected activists out of the 17 we've worked with. And trust me, we have other activists that would love to be part of this session and would share bountifully the experiences they've had in the social project. But for the sake of time, we just want to have more like a little tip on reflecting on some of the experiences from this very special 4. And trust me, if you meet the other activists, they have loads and loads of experiences to share with you. So the session is just going to last for 15 minutes. And we don't want it to be long. We want something very direct so that we save time. And then we also pick out the very important content that will be coming from their response. So I'll be throwing questions to Arinze, Ikena, Tosin, and Gloria. I will be calling your name directly so that we know the sequence of how we'll be responding to the questions. So the questions are very simple and would implore every other participant here to listen. So I would like to start with Gloria. Yes. Gloria, how can you describe your journey through the year with Susu?
Okay, thanks for this opportunity to share my experience. I really appreciate it. Well, the journey so far with Susu has been so inspiring. It has been so capacity building. It has been so interesting. Prior to the project, well, I have done let's say have volunteered and I've interned with so many organizations and I've carried out some personal projects, but trust me, this one is different because I have discovered so many things about myself I never knew I could do. You know, at first I thought I was not I won't be able to do it. At the point I even dropped out. But man, thank God for the intervention of some people like Ekene and some other activists who encouraged me to keep on. And I am so grateful for that because if I dropped out, I wouldn't have accomplished what I've accomplished and I wouldn't have discovered what I've discovered about myself. So it has been so interesting for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Gloria. I think I found that word different in quotes very special for the Susu project. So I would also like to throw that question to Arinze. Arinze, can you describe your journey through the year with Susu?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, very clear.
Well, my journey through the year with Susu, well, it's been quite a journey. Okay, let me start from the story before the story, I guess. I don't know. I will try and make it short as possible. Well, when submitting for the application, you know, that there was a stage that we got to, they say we'll post a video on the socials, that will make a video and talk about what we'll do on the project and post. So I made the video, and this video, I was trying to post on my IG. It took almost 2 days, and this video couldn't post on my page. So I was like, what's all this? So just since I had to like go to a friend's house early in the morning to use his phone to log into my own IG account. And luckily the video was able to post. So after that, and I think we are given like, I think 3 days or so to do that task. So, and that was the morning of the last day. So I had to like try and see how I can post the video. So after that, some few days, I got the good news email that I've been selected. I should be coming to Abuja. So on my way to Abuja, normally it doesn't take me up to 15 minutes to go to the airport. But I was like, oh, is it not this our small, let's follow the express and go to the airport. While following the express, like 2 trailers had an accident and blocked the whole, like both lanes are blocked. So we just got stuck in the road. Anyway, finally, I missed my flight. That's the whole issue. So, and the next alternative is to use the road. I got to the park around past 12, I guess. Yeah, past 12 in the afternoon. So, but unfortunately, the big companies with registered company names and stuff, all their Abuja vehicles have left. So they just directed me to one park like that. You know, this park that they use bell and rickety speaker to announce their destinations. You know, that's the kind of park. So finally, I saw one Homer bus going to Abuja. So I paid and entered the bus. Unknowingly, not knowing that the people in the bus are fake passengers. So we are just few real passengers in the bus. So like, it was so frustrating that we, the real passengers, quarrel and later still became so humble that we had to start walking around the park and begging people if they are going to Abuja so they should come and join us and leave. So finally the bus left around, I think 6. So I wouldn't want to go into the details of how the journey was. But finally I got to Abuja around 2 a.m. That's when I arrived at the hotel. And the training and the meeting other activities is quite insightful, and the training was very intense. Like, it kind of gave me that kind of pressure. I was still in the university that I have to run around to meet up with assignments and stuff. And I kind of, because it's been a while, I've been under that kind of pressure. So even after the Abuja training, when we got back to Enugu, we are still trying to meet up with tasks and everything. So officially, I started my project in February 2022. That is first meetings coming with the because I never knew any of them. So we met on February, then March, we did our first PVC awareness where we came and talked to people interested to listening to us, because this was the period when, in the Southeast, like PVC, INEC and everything, like they were being attacked at that point. So like people were really scared of coming out to register for PVC. But luckily, we are able, some people listen, some were hostile as well, that no election in Igbo land, blah, blah, blah. So it was a mixed reactions with people. So, well, the journey has been so good that it made me like, this part of myself I never knew, this leadership aspect, leading other people, that is not just you. So it's been quite an interesting journey that even despite the threats and everything, we are able to do like almost 5 PVC awareness in even UNN, Soka environs. So, and later we now design our project to be going to schools, since going out there in the street. So we now started visiting schools to talk about PVC registration. And during the course of the project, we found out that it's not about registering. It's equal, like you have to equally go and pick up the PVC. So we also designed an awareness program that's about PVC collection, which we equally we went on radio, even newspapers, encouraging youth to register for PVC. So I think that has been my journey
Yeah,
so far
thank
with
you.
Suso, and I enjoyed the journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Arinze. I could imagine what you'd go through for making social change, and that was from your own willingness to do it. And you've really gone so deep to even answer some of the questions I have beforehand. So I would like to ask Oluwatosin, I know you also have your journey to describe through the year with Suso, but I would like to ask on what positive and negative changes you have observed in yourself as a youth leader through the project.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be here. So, what are the positive and the negative things I've observed? So, I'm going to be looking at for my first question, which is the journey so far, because in part of the journey so far, we need to highlight both the positive and the negative. For me, it has been a journey of learning, relearning, and adapting. And I think that would be one of the positive things I would say I've observed about myself. Yeah, adaptability is one of is a key skill that youths need. And I think Suzo was able to help me sharpen that skill this period. It has been an opportunity for me to be able to adapt to changes, adapt to new ideas, adapt to thoughts, adapt to strategies. Yeah, and it has also been a journey that comes with excitement from working with fellow smart minds, sharing ideas, and also looking out for each other. And I would also say another positive thing that I've discovered or that I realized during this period is the ability to be able to make research and also make things work in spite of limitations. So sometimes as youth, we get tired, maybe when you feel there is a stumbling block or maybe there's a limitation ahead and we just want to give up. So I think one of the things I've been able to learn during this period is the ability to make things work in spite of limitations, ability to come up with ideas. And I think this was one thing I shared with Nika too, that during my project, I had a plan A and I didn't prepare a plan B. So I generally just felt plan A was going to work and I was going to be fine. So it took a while for me to be able to get up, for me to be able to come up to, okay, so what else are you going to do if plan A is not working and you don't have plan B? So generally, it has been an opportunity to build my adaptability skills. It has been an opportunity for me to also work with smart minds, to work as a team. And I would also want to give a shout out to Rama. We were able to collaborate for one of our projects, and the population or the turnout was not really encouraging. And the way we were able to still make things work in spite of the number, it was amazing to me. I was like, no, this can only be team spirit that would have made this work. If a thing would have given up on that day, that we had these people and all. But I could see the team spirit, I could see the real desire to make impact, because really, I think social impact would be discouraging if they are not really passionate. So I could see the passion in the two of us, which made the program an exciting one. So I think the negative side of it, not much of a negative side, but of course, one of the negative changes I would say, I can't really wrap my head around one, but I think one thing I really want to build more is maximizing the potentials around me. I think for me, I didn't maximize the potentials I have around me as much as I would have loved to, because really, these are young minds doing excellently well. There are times I will see some of the things these activities are doing, and my mind is actually blown out, and I'm like, no, Tosin, what are you doing with your life? So I think I didn't maximize those potentials as much as I would have loved to do. So I look forward to partnering more with them and getting things better, and most importantly, working together to make Nigeria a better place for youth.
Thank you very much, Oluwatosin. I was really keen about the part where you talked about social change or social impact is discouraging if you're not passionate, and that is very, very true. I believe we are taking down some of these tips and notes from the experiences of the activists. So I'd like to ask Ikena, Mr. Ikena, what particular events or incidents will always stick in your memory and around Susu? And how do you think it will influence you going forward?
Thank you, Uchenna. Thank you, the entire Susu team. It's been an amazing year, I must say. And to think that we are wrapping this this time is just surreal. And I'm really happy to have been part of this journey. Just straight into your question, what sticks to my mind? I think that a lot, and what comes handy at the moment is the understanding that I have now, the conviction of the right people to work with. And this is at the point where I like to give a big shout out to some of my key advocates. I want to mention their name, Ugonna Ozo, Rita Chinyere, and Victoria Chibondo. You know, I get to find people who I can say, even if I'm not here, even if I want to make a recommend, you know, can you do this for me? And you can just go and rest knowing that this work is done. So this has stick to me, and it's important that we understand the power of collaboration. I often say that collaboration is our new tribe if we want to make progress. So this is what sticks to me because during this project, I've not worked with some of them in many of the things that I do around community work here in Enugu State, but this experience has opened up new opportunities for collaboration. I remember in one of our meetings, we were talking about how we can take the project beyond SUSU, you know, what happens after SUSU. We were thinking about that, you know, with my advocates. A lot of them dropped, but I was able to, you know, these ones were able to stick to the goal, and we really have a team now going forward. So it's so beautiful to find that you can trust some of these guys to work with and to move on with them as far as the work that we do to create change in our communities is concerned. So this is it. I won't take much of your time. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikena, for that very, very succinct response. So I would also want to take it back to Gloria again. Gloria and Arinze, so you just split it because our time for this session is up already. So what other experience do you look forward to building on what SUSU has offered you? Following what SUSU has offered you and the experiences you've had with SUSU, what other experience do you look forward to? More like one-line statement from the both of you. We'll start with Gloria.
Okay. Well, I look forward to enhancing all the skills and knowledge that SUSU has impacted me with. Knowledge never ends. People never stop learning. So I would say that I have learned so much, community mobilization, you know, leading the advocates and also implementing projects and all that. So I look forward to, you know, expanding on that and learning new ones.
Thank you very much, Gloria. And trust me, we're also looking out for you to point out and say this was one of the SUSU activists for the year 2022. Okay, over to you, Arinze. What opportunity do you look forward to?
Okay, I would say, you know, it's still a learning process for me. You know, we learn every day. So it's still me doing my thing, using my craft as an artist to contribute to the society. Like intentionally and individually applying myself to making the society a better place. So like that's what I would say.
Thank you very much, Arinze. So I will just have to draw a close to the very brief panel discussion with the first selected activists. And trust me, if you are to sit with the other activists, you would literally not be going here today because they will tell you lots of stories about the experiences they've had within the different activities they had carried out. So just for notification's sake, just be informed that the link to the full video of the documentary, the short version of the documentary had shown you, the link to the full version will be sent to you But for now, we just have the teaser video, which the link is already dropped in the comment section. So when you check the comment section, you'll find the link to the one that was played here, and you can play them over and over again. And we'll surely send you the link to the full documentary on YouTube where you're going to watch them. Right about now, we'll just take a little break, and that break would also be spiced up by one of our activists. Okay, I think one of our advocates, Miss Khadija Shuaib. So sorry if I do not pronounce your name properly, and she'll be giving a spoken word performance at this point. So after that, we'll have another short discussion with the advocates in the project. So over to you, Ms. Khadija. Are you here?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, we are ready for you now. Thank you. Over to you.
Good morning. I'll be reading a very short piece on PVC. Sorry, please, for the background. I'm presently inside the hospital.
Yeah, it's nice. It's okay.
I'll be reading the piece from a page, and it has as follows. This is a call, not for you alone, but I myself, without segregation or specification, with an open mind and positive intention, to the heart that beats life into existence. Singing lullaby in tones only a patriotic soul will understand. The greatness we all foresee, with each passing day fading away, in dreams and our reality of today, the hopes and trusts we had fallen in sway, and there was nothing we could do anyway. Our yesterday better than our today, and the tomorrow we anticipate never came to pass. Every opportunity is sliding without us being aware. Maybe we're so engrossed with finding faults of ourselves, or maybe we do not understand our strengths and mights. Here is another golden opportunity to us all, to choose a future of our choice with our hands. The tomorrow we only foresee in our dreams, and heard of only from books and lips of man. The impossibility we dare not to speak out loud. On a certain day in a certain month of 2023, the PVC you hold will determine its course, and the pathway toward destination you strike, it shall follow. The journey of another 4 years in your guard, it shall portray. Choose right while you can. Choose wise while the opportunity is still at hand. That's the end of the piece. I'm sorry it was a bit haphazard because I had to be in hospital early.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Deja. It will interest us to know that Deja is one of the advocates working with our activists in Lagos, Give Chikere. And if we really paid attention to the lines of that poem, it's so informing and so revealing. Thank you so much, Deja, for that piece. And thank you also for making out time and not letting your everyday activity come in contact with passion and what you want to do for social change and humanity. Thank you very much. So if you check in the comment section, there are lots of accolades and emojis showing that we really enjoyed your piece and really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So right now, we want to take a photo session and would implore you all to open your cameras so that we take a screenshot of the participants in this meeting. This session is very important. So at this point, we want everyone to open up their cameras so that we take the screenshot. As much as possible, we'd like to have our cameras open so that we take the screenshots. So Mr. Duff, you can help us with that and any other member of the project team so that we'd have lots and lots of copies to share.
Yeah, let's just keep it on for maybe the next 50 seconds and I'll have it. Thank you.
Okay, so 50 seconds, we have it. In the next, let's say 1 minute, we take the shot. So if you're yet to open your camera, please do so and give your best pose. This is going to be here for posterity. I think I'm getting ready for that. Okay, let us know when you're ready, Mr. Duff.
Yes, I'm done now. I think people are a little bit shy, but I'm done. That's good. We can just move on.
Oh, wow. Oh, I think some people would like to take another shot when they are really certain that they are actually ready.
Fine. So you can just give a countdown. You can say 1, 2, 3, and then I'll go.
Okay, so I'll take a countdown from 5 to 0. At the count of 0, we'll just.
So you have to do it twice because there are 2 pages of the attendance sheet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take a shot and then count another 5 for the second page.
Okay, so you may not know the batch you're in, so just give your best pose for the 2
for the next 10 seconds, exactly.
Yeah. So I'll be taking the first one. If you know where you belong, just pose well for it. And the count starts with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0.
One more.
Okay, so the second 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uche. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dog, for that. Expect the copies soon.
Uche, you're muted. If you're speaking, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you for that. I almost forgot. So we'll be moving to the next session, and that session is the panel discussion with our advocates, the amazing advocates across the 3 locations where the project held, and they've worked painstakingly so hard with activists to see that the various projects come to fruition. So the panel discussion will be moderated by my project colleague, Shekina Ziaba. Shekina, over to you. Shekina, are you there?
All right, thank you. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much, Uche.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you everyone for still being on the call. For this session, I would like to invite 4 advocates who have been selected to join me in this session, and one of which is Philip Ayowole, Adeze Divine, Blessing Okechukwu, and Fatima Usman. If you're here on the call, can you indicate so that you can be given the opportunity to speak when you will need to speak? Philip, are you here? Adeze, are you here? Blessing, are you here? And Fatima. Just indicate by saying you're here. Okay, okay. Okay, great. Okay, great. I'll proceed with asking a couple of questions. Basically, these are not strange questions. The questions I feel you should be familiar with and you should be able to respond to at the top of your head. And I'll be calling you individually while asking the questions, and you can unmute yourself and speak whenever
they have already called me to speak.
Sorry, someone is saying something. All right, my first question goes to Philip, and I would like to ask you, Philip, what were your thoughts during your first contact with the SOSO project and your leading team? What came to mind?
Thank you very much. I was not really sure. Okay. I wasn't really sure the objective for the project, and my mind was that probably it's just one of those projects that they will just make initial noise, then before you know it, everything will die down. But since it is a project that is going to create impact in people's life, I said, let me give it a shot. And especially the thematic area is employability. I've been there before. I've been unemployed. I've been looking for a job. I know what it means. And I've always been passionate to support people who have been out of jobs. So I just thought, well, it might be my own opportunity to give back to the unemployed masses. Let's see what I can do to support the project. And I gave it a shot. And when we started the project, and it beat my imagination, and I'm happy that I gave it a try, and the impact we made in people's life will create a very long-lasting impression.
Thank you so much. I guess what I heard you say, you were first uncertain, and then you followed through and persevered, and here you are. Thank you so much for that. I also like to ask same question to Daisy. When you first came in contact with activists, what was it for you? How did you see the project? Daisy, are you here? If Adeze is not speaking, Blessing, can you go ahead and answer the question?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So my name is Amara Blessing Okechukwu. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay,
I can hear you.
All right. So, yes. Okay, so when I heard about the SUSO project, for me, I was a little bit excited because it was another opportunity for me to reach out to young people again. Because before I registered, I took my time to read through I took my time to read through what the program was all about. So, and I was excited to reach out to youth people. For me, it was an opportunity for youth advocacy. It was an opportunity to make our voice heard again. Okay, and when I got to know my team leader, I was also more excited because I've known her for a while and I know that she's a go-getter over the years. So her works speak for her. Her works speak for her. So I was even happy to work with her. So that was what it was for me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that. I would like to ask Fatima Usman, can you share a brief story of what your typical experience in the SUSO project was like? Just give us an insight to one of your engagements in the thematic area you were working with and how it went.
Okay, thank you very much.
Fatima, can you hear me? Okay, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but it's a little bit blurry, but we can hear you.
I've just turned off my video because of the band network.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. So is it clearer now?
Yes, it's better.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm a social advocate with Mr. Lawal Rafiu under the thematic area of peace and security. So one engagement for me that I would like to share is our community sensitization on electoral processes and then just general knowledge. We visited a community at Kwali, one of the local governments in Abuja, area councils rather in Abuja. First, we had to go for a courtesy visit to the village head. Initially, I was, should I say, skeptical about the outcome because I have really not gone into a community advocacy before. I mean, so going there with some other advocates and engaging with the community head, they don't understand, I don't understand Bagi, which is a native language of that community. I don't know how to speak Hausa, which is also kind of acceptable as well if you can't speak other languages in Abuja. But we also needed to see the village head, inform him about coming. And one thing that happened was we then got to community entry points and we reached out to somebody like a youth leader who facilitated the process for us. You know, that's one advantage of meeting people, knowing people. this person is not even on the social project. It's not somebody I'm really familiar with, but he played a very key role in making sure that he was able to interpret, to the village head, what we want to come and do. And we're just very excited. They took us to town square where we would have the meeting, some other youth leaders around there were like, okay, they're really looking forward to the coming of, to the visit. Then following week, we went for the community engagement. I went with about 6 of us. When we got there, we had to set up, something about me. I used to be very shy. Speaking in public used to be a big deal for me. But on that day, seeing like over 40 persons, both adults, youth, male, female, and I was supposed to share that sensitization process. And I was asking myself, I hope I will not make a mistake. And I just kept on going through everything in my head. How will we go? We will do this, we will do that. And at a point, I'm like, you've not come all through January till September in Suso to not have a very good confidence level. Just do it, and I'm sure you'll do very well. And then we started. We introduced ourselves. We started the engagement, spoke to them about the YPS agenda, that's Youth Peace and Security agenda, give them a brief overview of what we do, what Suso is about, what Building Blocks for Peace is about. And then we now moved fully into having a peaceful elections. How can youth participate? What can they do as a community? It was very interesting to know that even though they could not really tell us everything they wanted in English, because we got people to interpret for us, what they were expressing, what they were saying wasn't too different from what we already knew. I think they just needed somebody to amplify their voices for them. And one major issue that they kept on raising was protection, because majority of them, they are farmers, and they kept asking, how can they protect themselves? Election is coming, people, it was just interesting, and I liked the reception, the way they welcomed us. To me, it showed that I think more people are getting to know that you can't do it alone. Like, they just want us to keep coming, Some of them were even asking, when next would you come? We're able to talk to them about how they can hold their leaders accountable. So we told them that you want to be protected. It's not your own will to carry arms and all that to protect yourself, but it falls on your community leader, to your local government chairman, and then to the Senate, and just the whole tie of leadership. So we're also able to tell them about electoral violence, vote buying. They would come, and they also share their experiences that when it's time for election, they see these people come with their cameras, come with their big cars, and then afterwards, they don't see anybody. They only have just one borehole functioning in that community, and lots of persons have come to promise them this, promise them that. So we're like, that's a typical example of what you have been doing in the past. So let this election speak better, You have the right to hold your leaders accountable. If they don't do well, you have the right to, write to them, seek audience with them, tell them, you told us you would do this, it's our right, so do it for us. And we actually also noticed something. Most of the participants were male, and that was because the females are the ones that go to the farm in the morning time, like say 10, 9. So we had a very low turnout of female, and we also encouraged them that it's very important to carry women along in all these things. Women are the ones that would be at home to train the child. They could also even influence decisions even within the family unit, within the community, the market women, all those people, they are quite influential. So we actually encourage them to also create space and give room for women to participate more whenever they are having any events or gatherings or whatever in the community. So I think that was the height for me, and it was something I really enjoyed. It actually showed me that I learned a lot from January till November in Suso. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fatima. Basically, when it comes to community engagement and all of that, we get to meet several persons with different perspectives, and our ability to be able to reshape their perspective to the right one is key in ensuring sustainable development in whatever thematic area, whatever problems we are trying to solve and all. And so I'll go back to you, Philip. I have one last question for you. I want to ask you that by being part of this SUSO project, what change did you notice in yourself as a leader? Can you share a scenario that you realized that? What change did you notice in yourself? And if there is a scenario that made you realize this change, you could as well just let us know. Philip, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Philip, are you there? If Philip cannot hear me, Blessing, can you go ahead to answer the question?
Okay, I was not able to unmute myself before. I can hear you very clearly.
Okay, great. Go ahead then.
Well, the SUSO project has made me to realize that I am a very great team player, because during the course of the project, we were so many when we started, but along the line, many people were dropping off and due to their individual engagements. And we needed to organize webinars, seminars, we worked with NYC. We needed enough hands on deck, and many people were not turning up. And I took the challenge upon myself, despite my work ethic, and I was able to immerse myself in the project, carry out several activities with the support of my leader, Oluwatosin. And up till now, I've been able to discover that I have a great leadership trait in me. And that has even been helping me personally in my career, because I now discover some things that I don't know about myself before, especially the leadership aspect. And I've been able to also realize that I have this ability to carry people along to achieve great things. And one of the things we did was to help the job seekers to revamp their CV and to connect them to job opportunities. And we created a WhatsApp group where I volunteer myself to be dropping job vacancies every day. And till now, I've been doing that faithfully. And we have several testimonies of people who have been getting jobs. In fact, one of them just got a job with an insurance company last week. And these are the things that really made me happy. And it shows that I can really lead a team. These are the leadership traits that I didn't discover in myself before the program. So I'm grateful to SUSO.
Great, good to know, because team playing is a very important skill if you need to interact with people, and you definitely interact with people, starting from your family to friends to colleagues and people at the workplace. We all need to build that ability to be able to work with a team effectively, irrespective of the diversities and some of the challenges that comes with working with the team. Well done, Philip. And my last question, because we are out of time, we'll go to Blessing. Blessing, I would like to ask you, how best has your experience in the SUSO project equipped you for future opportunities? What can you say about how your involvement in the SUSO project has further prepared you for whatever lies ahead in the future?
Okay, thank you for that question. So my involvement with SUSO has actually helped me to improve my public speaking skills. Okay, I remember the first outreach that we did in March. My team was the first because my team leader paired us. We were 2-2. And I had to speak with my colleague, Teresa. Okay, I even, in as much as it wasn't my first time coming out to speak in public that way, but I still experienced stage fright. And over time, I gained balance. So my involvement with SUSO has helped me build my public speaking skills more, and also teamwork. Yes, because we had several meetings, myself and my colleague my colleague and I were supposed to embark on that outreach in Nsukka High School. Okay, so we met on different occasions despite our busy schedules. So the communication skills, this SUSO project helped me to get better at that. So apart from communication skills, another one is what is it called? There's advocacy as well as time management, is because it was at the time when we had several engagements and outreaches to carry out on social projects. I also had my work. I also had my work to do. I had several other engagements. So it was a rigorous process, okay? But I'm happy that I was able to get through that because it was challenging for me. I developed some kind of strength to be able to handle all of that. So it was actually a great opportunity. And of course, reaching out to the younger people, the younger generation, secondary school students, I felt like I was making an impact because, you know, the response from the students after each outreach and developing reading clubs, at the end of the term, we still went back to the school to find out how many amongst the students that were part of the reading club, their performances and all of that. We gave them awards and, you know, the whole thing, the response from the teachers, the students as well. So it was actually satisfactory. Yeah.
So no, I think basically the takeout here is opportunities will definitely come, and then people should learn to put themselves out. You never know what you can learn. You never know what skill you can adapt. You never know what negative trait you have that you can drop off by just putting yourself out there and participating in one project or the other, community action, and ensuring that the country that we are in is a better one when we eventually get the opportunity to do something. Thank you so much for your time, Philip. Daisy probably was absent, Blessing and Fatima. It was nice sharing this experience sharing section with you. And I look forward to seeing your greater impact. And this goes with extension to other advocates. Thank you so much, everyone. That's all from me, Iche. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Shekina. I think I enjoyed the session, watching the advocates from different communities share their experiences, and I could really relate with some of them. And I got special lessons and pick up. I mean, my notes, I never knew I was going to do lots of writing and getting of insights from the responses they will be providing. So thank you to every amazing advocate that have participated in the session, and even some advocates that were not spotlighted in the discussions. I believe that you must have your own experience and stories and lessons you must have learned through your period working as an advocate in SUSU, and that is very, very key to us. So right now, we don't want to waste the time any further. We'd like to have our closing remark. And our closing remark will be taken by one of the advisory board member of the Network of Youth for Sustainable Initiatives, popularly known as Nigerian SDGs Network. One of our advisory members will be giving us a closing remark by name Ms. Naomi Lucas. She's a strategy and business consultant. Ms. Naomi, are you there?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. So over to you now, our closing remark.
All right, thanks. Sorry, I can't use my video now. I actually left. I have a wall I use for my videos, and I'm left. I'm somewhere downstairs. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, when Joshua and the team reached out about the closing remark, I was wondering what to say to just galvanize the people who I know will be on this call. And I've decided to share an experience, a very interesting experience I had somewhere outside of Nigeria. So I was invited to be a panelist or to sit on a panel for something that was happening, a conference that was happening somewhere outside of the country, and I went. Now, this is a place where the number of people with my skin color were very few and far in between. So I felt very honored that I was invited. And after my panel session, they invited a development expert from one of the big consultancy firms in the world to talk about Africa and the development issues. I think they were focused on either employment or something related. Essentially give like a landscape and then to talk about what we could do to move forward. And the person who made that presentation was either a Kenyan that worked from the South African office or a South African that worked from the Kenyan office. I can't remember. And he gave a brilliant, one of the most brilliant presentations that I've heard in my life about where we were, or where we're coming from, where we are, where we're going to, and what we must do. And everyone was just, taking notes furiously. And his closing remark, just like I'm giving you one now, his closing remark or the summary of everything he was saying, he said, so everything I've said has brought me to this point. And everything that needs to happen for the continent of Africa going forward is dependent on one critical factor, and then he said, Nigeria. So as a Nigerian sitting in the dark, I began to look around for moral support because I was taken aback. And he said, the future of the African continent resides in the hands of Nigeria. If Nigeria does not rise up to the occasion, if Nigeria does not do what it is supposed to do, then as a continent, we are doomed. And then he ended his speech and he left. I promise you that it's been maybe 5 or so years ago that I went for that conference. Every time I think of myself and think of how uncomfortable I might be about things happening in the country and how, it's just there's too much happening. It's better to, just sort myself. Every time I think about myself and then there's decisions that I make or even decisions that I refuse to make, the things that I do and decide I don't want to do, I think about that man. And I think about how the way I live my life has implications for how other people might be able to or not achieve what they're supposed to achieve in the world. But I am encouraged because of people like you, the advocates, the activists, Nigeria Youth SDG Network, the team, and everybody who has come together to put a program like this. When that development expert was talking during that presentation, I'm sure that he would have been gladdened if he knew that people like you existed or would exist in the future. So without knowing that the continent depends on you, every single one of you on the call have actually done things that will go beyond you to make the road and the journey ahead easier for so many people out there. And from the board, from the team, and as a Nigerian to you, I want to say thank you for your service. We thank you because we know what it is to try and implement change or drive any kind of intervention at any level in this country. And we know that it wasn't like you got $1 million. So you would have had to think of creative ways to make what you want to do happen. So we want to say thank you very much and do not be discouraged. Stay optimistic. I usually ask my team when things seem very overwhelming, I ask them, how do you eat an elephant, right? When it just seems really overwhelming, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant in bits and pieces. And that's what you're actually doing. From governance to employment to all the different projects that you worked on, you are chipping at the problem. And it may not seem like you're making any difference now, but you're sowing seeds and in due time, you will reap the reward. Thank you so, so much. We appreciate you. Now, I work with young people, and if you just want to know what we're about and what we do, you might find it useful. You can check at Naomi Lucas Co on Instagram. Naomi Lucas, my name, and then CO on Instagram to see how we also drive change at different levels across the country and indeed the continent. So thanks very much. I'm very grateful and I wish you all the best going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lucas. I think this is an amazing closing remark. And then the story is, it's happening like the story is now to myself. Like I'm buying into your story and living your story inside your story. It's really been a good one. So this is the point where we feel very emotional that this particular filtered number of change makers in the project, we may not have a time where we converge in this particular setting and sense. Not like saying it's really an emotional setting, but I would say I'm really going to be missing everybody in this project going forward, the amazing activists across the different thematic areas, the amazing advocates that have worked with them to continue to make change in your community and grow in greater heights. So to wrap up the event of today, we'll be presenting one of the products or deliverables from one of our activists in Lagos under the governance thematic area, Gift Chikere. So Gift used the approach of arts to drive her own advocacy in the area of governance as a thematic area. And then there was this amazing song produced and made up from scratch by Gift and her advocates. And we'll be playing that song. So as a way of saying goodbye and seeing you, we'll have the song in the background. And if you still want to get the song, just check out for the link in the comment section. So right now in the comment section, we have the link to the song. You can get that. So for this amazing community, do well to connect, do well to get contact, do well to reach out to some persons. And at this juncture, we don't want to keep you any longer, so that you, and we'll be coming to the close of the event. I don't know if anybody has anything to add from the project team or the ED of Nigerian SDGs Network. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah. So enjoy the music, Secure Your Vote by Gift and Advocate.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this meeting. See you all. Thank you.
Secure your vote for this election. No go Dave Jones. Collect your PVC, make it for vote. Secure your vote. Secure your vote for this election. No go Dave Jones. Collect your PVC, make it for vote. Secure your vote. People, how una day? Hope say una day okay. No. Me and my team, we don't land here today. Make we give you one shopping for me. Okay. You don't hear waiting they come. This one no be time to do. Sharply collect your vote. Ask God I'm ready to vote. Make we save Nigeria from. Cause I don't tell how to complain, my guy. It's for stuff and no be choice. People just they die. Kids they cry. Headsmen they kill one lie. We don't say what's okay, but the government still know why it's changed. This na message to Mama and Kechi. Tell Ruke where to inform me. Yabisi, Musa and Dindi. No sell your vote now for there you go Jones. End by government now in the
now we on. So make it know the ball. No, go get your PVC. You said now you're right. To the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make your vote. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right. To the vote. All your time is something.
Secure your vote for this election. Collect your PVC.
Election day. All your time is something.
Secure your vote for this election. Collect your PVC.
Election day.
Secure your vote.
See, if my vote don't count, it's my fault cause I did have my chance. But it's around, I forgot to whine from the south. This is how I get your voice heard within the noise. All power in your thumbprint. You can't complain about it, then repeat the same thing. Expect to change things, still on the same shit. History in the making. Election time I'm partaking. Before this country serve me breakfast. We define me when I'm voting. We define me when I'm voting.
Now we on. So make it know the ball. No, go get your PVC. You said now you're right. To the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make your vote. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right. To the vote. All your time is
your PVC, my brother. Make everything feed day in abundance. Nigeria know the feed day back up come last. Now why we got to set our compass and try to vote in the right person. Cause all these years don't teach us lesson. Nigeria leaders won't play like Messi. Now why they know they show us messy. Conscience, they no get it. They leave us as suffering. A problem, we don't try to debone them. But to bone them, no go fit to solve the problem. Get your card and play your part. If you no go vote, then you don't lose God. There's been a change that you wanna see, and it's that sweet that you want to
now we on. So make it know the ball. No, go get your PVC. You said now you're right. To the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make your vote. Go get get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. All your time is on top. You don't want you. Don't want this to run you. Niger, election day. Secure, don't get your PVC. Now your power. Election day. Election day.
Secure your vote for this election. No go Dave Jones. Collect your PVC, make you for vote. Secure your vote. Secure your vote for this election. No go Dave Jones. Collect your PVC, make you for vote. Secure your vote.
People, how una day? Hope say una day okay. Me and my team, we don't land here today. Make we give you one shopping for me. You don't hear waiting they come. This one no be time to do. Sharply collect your voters card and ready to vote. Make we save Naija from. Cause I don't tell how to complain, my guy. This stuff for stuff and no be choice. People just they die, kids they cry, headsmen they kill one lie. We don't say it's okay, but the government still know why it's true. This na message to Mama and Kechi. Tell Ruke where to inform me. Yabisi, Musa and Dindi. No send your vote now for there you go Jones. And by government now in the
so make it know the bono. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make it vote. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. All your time is on to secure your vote for this election. Collect your PVC. Election day. All your time is on to secure your vote for this election. Collect your PVC. Election day.
See, if my vote don't count, it's my fault cause I did have my chance. But it's around like a dirty wine from the south. This is how I get your voice heard within the noise. All power in your tone print. You can't complain about it and repeat the same thing. Expect to change things, still on the same shit. History in the making. Election time I'm partaking. Before this country served me breakfast. We define me when I'm voting. We define me when I'm voting.
Now we on. So make it know the bono. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make your vote. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote.
Get your PVC, my brother. Make everything feed day in abundance. Naija no dey feed day back or come last. Now why we got to set our compass and try to vote in the right person. Cause all these years don't teach us fancy. Naija leaders won't play like Messi. Now why they know they show us messy. Conscience, they no get it. They leave us as suffering. A problem, we don't try to debone them. But to bone them, no go fit to solve the problem. Get your card and play your part. If you no go vote, then you don't lose God. There's be the change that you wanna see, and it's that sweet that you want
now we on. So make it know the bono. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. Nigeria now we on. Come make it vote. Go get your PVC. You said now you're right to the vote. All your time is on top. You don't want you. Don't want this to run you. Niger, election day. Secure your PVC. Election day.